How big the evergreens have got. Nice privacy wall. Well, that creaky built around the deck. These are my milk thistle. Actually, my brother's milk thistle. But I'm excited that they are growing nicely now. I put some of my scorpion brew on there, which kept the rabbits or possum or whatever at bay. And now they are beautiful. Is that they've gotten old enough to have these little thorns along the outside of the leaves. So once they reach a certain age of maturity, they can hold the predators off on their own. And you know, I tasted those leaves because they say that you can juice them and stuff, and they're good for liver. I mean, good for your liver and so forth. So I tasted the inside of the leaf. Didn't bite the thorn, but it was not bad. They say it tastes like spinach. I don't know if it tastes like spinach, but it wasn't bad. My cucumbers, as you can see, it's been growing on everything. So I kind of made a homemade TP trellis for it. But I do have cucumbers coming now. We have one here. We have a pretty big one coming in here. And I don't feel like digging in the rest of it. Plus, I just wanted to show y'all how I was getting down this season. Okra. I'm just showing you the biggest one. I have 5 plants over here. And that's the biggest one. I had to redo those. I had to put the scorpion brew on these as well. This I put in a bag, as you can see. This was my mosquito shocker. It doesn't work to repel mosquitoes or insects like I anticipated or like it is rumored to be, but the leaves are so ridiculously lemony when you they smell so good. So I really want to use those leaves as potpourri. So I'm starting another small plant just to grow for leaves. Lettuce looking beautiful. Decided to put mint in here instead of the strawberries. This is my next tomato plant coming up. These are bigger than the other ones. Yes, ma'am. My moringa tree. What you know about that? Lick it up, bitches. And this is a little bitty one. I just wanted to see how the tomatoes would fare in a very small pot. It's really little. Here, let me pan out. It's really little. And it's doing really well. I just wanted to see what this would do versus what one of these would do, because I'm gonna have one of these in the house so I can have fresh tomatoes in the winter. My lemon tree coming along, but this is what had happened. Okay, so I wanted the ground cherry, and this I have one. This one has a lot on it. It got really big, and it has a lot on it. There's one all over. This has several. But when they were growing, I didn't know what it was. I thought they were weeds, and I thought the seeds weren't coming up. So I got a lot of them. I threw most away, but I wound up putting the rest in a little pot. So there are like 5. Look how thick this stem is. Can you see that? There are like 5 of those in here. 5. 1 in the middle and 4 around. So I have to keep watering this, needless to say, because it will suck up all that water. But it has a lot of ground cherries on it, and it's standing upright as long as it stays moist. But if it doesn't, it will wilt like a mug. This is the tomato I've been harvesting. Look at those tomatoes. There's probably like 200 tomatoes that came off this thing. Look at it. Look at all those. Yeah. So yeah, there's more lettuce in the corner planter, And the raised bed looks a little something like this. Look at that. I love how that bitch looks at the end of the season. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? She's gorgeous. So my green onions finally started coming up late in the season, boo. I got more lettuce, of course. I have spinach that it's got cool enough for it to grow sufficiently. I have Swiss chard growing at 3 stages because I staggered them. Here is obviously the one we've been harvesting. Isn't she beautiful? And this year there aren't very many little insect holes. There's a little one there. I don't have very many of them, and I think that's marvelous. So anyway, this is at harvest stage. This is going to be next once I'm done harvesting this, obviously. Well, it's done with this life cycle. And here's another one to come up behind it, because I know Swiss chard can take cool weather and they will continue to produce. My basil here and what are you? Oregano here. Bushy. I have a random Caesar lettuce. This is where I started the new mosquito shocker. I'm going to take that in at the end of the season and continue to grow it inside. These are my red peppers. I need to pull that. These are my 3 red peppers. There is 1 pepper on it. I hate to step back here. I don't know what spider webs might be. But there is a pepper. Where are you? It's pretty big too. There she is. Look at that. I think she got pretty big because it took so long this year for these to start flowering and producing. So this just now has other smaller peppers joining it. There's one there. Here are my peas that I replanted again. Not doing hot. There's some yellowing. I actually brought them over here into the shade because peas like, you know, cooler shaded type weather. These are my old mints, and I also have my miracle berry tree, which I almost destroyed by having it out here before the season when it was too cold. So I took that back inside, and I'll update you as soon as that starts flowering. All right, y'all. Groovy smooches. Okay, so just gonna do a short video because I'm doing a small harvest today. I decided to do the milk thistle leaves all at once because my brother lives so far away, and I grew them primarily for him. But so when he is away, there's no easy way to get the leaves to him. I collect the seeds for, those of you who know what people use milk thistle for. I'm going to collect the seeds rather because it's my first time growing them. But in the meantime, we're juicing the leaves, and they have these thorns that are so prickly. Rather than come out and get a few leaves rather that I put in our juice, our cabbage juice, one of our beneficial ingredients, instead of poking myself, I'll just get a oven mitt and some scissors and go to town, collect as many leaves as possible, and I'm going to juice them and just use them small portions at a time in my juice. My moringa, as you can see, I finally got one of them to grow successfully, and of course at the end of the season when I see it getting sad, I'm going to chop it down to about 8 inches and winterize. But I wanted to ask anyone who knew what these small specklings are on the edges of the leaves. So on the edges of my moringa, I get that speckling, and I'm not sure what it is. So if you know, holla. Here are my tomatoes. They're really huge now. They are getting larger than cherry tomatoes, but it's not quite hot enough for them to go ahead and ripen like they should be. So I have a couple here. I'm gonna have that in a salad today. Nice. So they're getting bigger. Oh, and here's my tiny plant. It's doing really well. My itty bitty plant got this big old mater on it. Take off these bad leaves. I like for my plants to be pretty and green. Alright, holla if you know about the moringa issue. Oh, this cucumber is enormous. It wasn't even finished growing, if you can tell by the end. It's not even rounded out all the way at the end. And these apparently the things are still still has its prickly whatever the hell those knobby things are. And I just got a handful of ground cherries that Creaky and I are enjoying. I might find a place to grow them consistently, or not if it's not really worth the work.